as we approach the 2013 election in Kenya less than 2 weeks now, I think it's good for Kenyans to reflect back on what happened in 2007, and just to see what it means for our country and what it has done to the country. And I recall very well that I had gone to Kenya to vote, and I was actually involved in some studies, and I was in Nairobi. And a very peaceful election. It was very peaceful, and we were doing very well. And it was such a shock to me because things changed overnight. We were in restaurants together. That the city was very peaceful. We were looking forward to the election of a president, and then things changed overnight. And we had violence. People were fighting. There were people in the streets. And for me, I still am struck by the change from a very peaceful country to a very violent one within a period of just a few hours. So that was quite shocking to me, and it still remained fixed in my mind.
Yeah, I was also in Nairobi, and I went and I did cast my vote, and it was a very peaceful process. Then the following day, 2 days afterwards, everything changed. And all of a sudden, I am so aware of my ethnicity. For the first time in my life, I'm so aware of my ethnicity. Because, having been brought up in Nairobi, and we're not so aware of our ethnicity, it's just everyone is Kenyan. So that was the first time. And then it dawned on me the thin social fabric that we have, like in Kenya. It's so easy to break it, and it just broke overnight. And there was no peace.
Yeah, I was not only in Nairobi, but I was also observing the elections to make matters worse. I was an election observer. I was a commentator on the TV about what was happening at that particular time. And honestly, everything worked very well. During the day of voting, there was no drama. The next, even as counting was going on that night, there was no drama at the constituency level until we had people complaining that there were some things that were not going very well at the National Tallying Center. And with that, I think what was happening at the National Tallying Center was broadcast virtually everywhere. I think even the Electoral Commission was very responsible, because the kind of statements they make to the public in a very daring manner to say that there is something wrong happening with the counting of votes. That galvanized the country towards animosity. And the next day, of course, there were isolated cases of people rioting. And when the rout broke up, I would like to say that it was very worrying, because there is no single urban center of the country that didn't have one form of violence on the other. But the funny thing, and this is what really makes me feel that Kenya is actually not Kenya. And you see Kenya from the prism of your ethnic group, from the prism of who you are, because as some parts of the country were celebrating, some other parts of the country were in violence. And that really says that we are a very polarized, we are not really a fully united country.